Yes, Josh, you look like you have something for me.
I left my pulse at home.
You left your pulse at home.
Oh my God. Well, you're driving back home, dude.
Yeah, we have one rule in this house. A lot of the things that we're doing this year are based around data. The way that baseball is going now, you don't have to guess. You don't have to just use your eyes. Now there is different softwares out there that will allow you to use the numbers behind their systems and then take those coupled with the expertise that we think that we've learned throughout our coaching careers and then make the players better through that. I think that's what's going to help this program and the pitchers in this building get as good as they possibly can be, is not trying to cherry pick one or two things, but trying to have a full approach, a comprehensive approach, if you will, to what we're trying to do on the development side of things.
So athletes come in and the first thing they do is fill out a little pre-throwing questionnaire, and that just asks them for their daily weight to kind of check in, see if they're hitting their body weight goals, asking them how well rested they feel, what their kind of overall mood is for the day. From there, they get into their more generalized mobility work, which is CARS, which is just kind of a joint-by-joint warm-up that helps guys kind of loosen up, gain a little bit of body awareness, and then they move into some more individualized mobility work that it was prescribed to them by kind of therapist side of the assessment that we did back in the fall. On the Saturdays, which are our most high-intensity throwing day, that's where our warm-up is kind of very based towards kind of getting the body moving and going through more explosive movements in a warm-up so that they're prepared to throw kind of maximal effort. So from there, we finish the dynamic warm-up and they go into immediately armcare.com testing.
Armcare is something that's super important to us this year. And when I say armcare, it's not the buzzword that everybody thinks it might be. Armcare.com is the software that we're using, and so it's a force dynamometer that goes on the athlete's wrist, and then we're measuring different strength in terms of pounds from different positions like internal rotation, external rotation, scaption, and grip. So with that, we can make decisions on a daily basis on how much guys are able to throw based off of what their strength levels are for that day. So we don't have to guess and ask guys, hey, how are you feeling today? We have a bunch of different measurements now in place where we know how they're feeling before they even touch a baseball. All right, 96. Okay, not bad. Down a little bit from Wednesday. All right. Shoulder bounce a little bit low, but we'll get that up. And once they're done arm care, they put their pulses on. And so driveline pulse is something that we implemented this year, and every guy in our pitching program has their own sensor. And what that does for us is it allows us to, again, not have to guess at the amount of throws that they're doing. So not only is it going to track the throw count, it's also going to track how fast their arm's moving, how much torque is on the elbow.
They're starting with warm-up drills, kind of in the plyo area, which is pretty, minimal intensive, just kind of getting the arm working and working through some basic constraint drills.
So you're still coming like super up every time. Start more loaded, right, on your back leg. I try to maintain that load, and I just rotate into my front leg more. Way better, way better.
And then moving into some more long toss where they're actually starting to ramp up their intensity, and then getting back towards the mound where they're working on primary drills, which are trying to transfer movements that were kind of assessed back in the fall that we want to try to influence. So every athlete, throughout the fall season, we were collecting data using Pitch AI, which is a markerless biomechanical software. So we're able to take slow motion video that we've captured from an iPhone and throw it into the app, and it spits out data on guys' positions of their body and how fast they're moving. From that, we kind of went through an assessment process where we identified which biomechanical markers are their strengths and weaknesses. Our drill fitting, at least preliminarily for this offseason, has been trying to sharpen maybe the weaknesses that an athlete has. So something like hip-shoulder separation, for example, if an athlete scored low in that category, we can program them specific constraint drills like a drop step or a janitor to try to influence that biomechanical feature.
Let me see your program for a second. Yeah, so we're gonna go 3 throws with each ball weight, starting with 6 ounce, okay? Pick up your leg into that rocker drill. 3. Not bad. Think about like your first step when you're, as a lefty, you're going like this way, opening up and like more on an angle. Try to drive with your back foot and sink down in the ground more, okay? Better. From that kind of encompasses their throwing work for the day. They then go back through arm care testing to again see kind of what their shoulder strength looks like. From that,
kind of post-session, how fatigued they might have been from that session. And then the athletes finally fill out a post-throwing questionnaire, which asks them for all that data that we collected intra-session, and then they go off and do their strength training program. We're obviously collecting a lot of data from some different inputs. We have arm care, we have pulse, we have more of the qualitative stuff of how they slept. What I've done is built a dashboard that all our coaches and the athletes have access to, where we can input all that data and kind of break it down athlete by athlete. So we're looking at their trends from the last week to 2 weeks to a month and even the entire course of the off season. But this is where we can have all that data to make actionable decisions. The goal, over time from this off season is to take all that data that we've collected, learn from it, and iterate on next year's next off season's program to find better solutions that can be adapted to the entire program and every athlete.